I'm Tom Scioli, author of Jack Kirby, The Epic Life of the King of Comics. I Am Stan, a graphic biography of the legendary Stan Lee. And from Image Comics, Jack Kirby's Star Warriors starring Adam Starr and the Solar Legion.
I'm Matt Zeoli.
And all of those books are available for pre-order in the show notes below. And please follow me on Twitter at Tom Scioli, on Instagram at Tom_Scioli, and support my Patreon. Go to patreon.com and search Tom Scioli. I saw The Flash, and it was one of those things where I was like, I think it's like a now or never, because it was like, there wasn't good word of mouth on it. It seemed like it was kind of struggling at the box office. I'm like, I want to see this. I want to see, the return of Michael Keaton as Batman. I don't want to miss, I don't want to miss on this. And I had already gotten like a spoiler. And so I was like, I don't want this movie completely spoiled. It was kind of a cool spoiler, like something I would have liked to have surprised me in the movie. So I was like, so I just kind of pulled the trigger. I kind of, and I called you, like I reached out to you to go see it, but it was like pretty short notice because I just kind of found like a window and like
perfect
went for it. It's a Total Recall movie. Like you got to see it. It's
oh my god.
I was really into it. It's really funny, like very fun, very metatextual, very nostalgic and stuff. And and pop culture references and referencing a lot of the kind of stuff we would reference. There's references to like Eric Stoltz as Marty McFly. There's and it's a movie that had been delayed like for a real for years, because I think it was supposed to come out around the time that Spider-Man multiverse No Way Home.
I
think it was supposed to come out, and so it's been like long delayed, and it was supposed to tie into that Batgirl.
I was just
movie
about to say
that got pulled, that got deleted from from
the
Warner Brothers hard drive.
Like I was gonna say, I felt like the Batgirl deletion, the effects, the ripples from that hit the
Sure,
flag.
I mean, who knows? There's a lot of things you could point to about like why it hurt, and then also like. I mean, there's some stuff we're not going to go into, but the less said, the better.
God.
But then there's also the thing of like, I noticed some people, it's like, does this thing count? Is it? And it is like they are, for good or ill, they have worked really hard over the past bunch of years to make some kind of like cohesive universe, some kind of lore similar to what Marvel did, and so this. So that is like they're betting on that to a certain degree, and they kind of made this, regime change where it's like, James Gunn is going to be starting a new, sort of DC cinematic universe. So this is kind of like a holdover from the previous era. So then I guess some people are just kind of like, well, why do I need to see that this movie is DOA? This is
God.
Now again, they do kind of address that because it's like multiversal shenanigans. You could use it to springboard into a completely different
era here.
But no, I enjoyed it a lot. Like it's it's goofy. Like the Flash is like a goofy Flash. Now like it's Barry Allen who's like the Flash from the 60s, who
the Flash TV show.
The old Flash TV show.
Dude, that was
like he is the guy who played the Flash in the old Flash TV show is like a much better fit for what Barry Allen is in the comics, just kind of like the square jawed, very like serious. Where this guy's kind of a goofball, and this guy the Barry Allen that's been in like a Snyder Cut and all that kind of stuff. Like it's like a goofy Flash, which is more akin to who the Flash was when I was a kid. When I was a kid, it was Wally West, and he was initially Kid Flash, and then the Flash dies in Crisis on Infinite Earths. Barry Allen dies, and then Wally West takes over as the Flash. And when I was a kid reading the comics, like Wally West was like a goofball. It was like Greatest American Hero. He wasn't ready to be the Flash. He was Kid Flash. He wasn't ready to be the Flash. So he's kind of figuring it out. And he's, and then like a little later, they gave him like more gravitas, and he kind of like Wally West kind of became just like another Barry Allen, and he became very popular. Like they made him into like less of like a anti-hero or a goofball and more into like, again, the square jaw kind of stuff. But now we're at with the movies, we have a Barry Allen who's like the Wally West of the 80s, as opposed to the Wally West of like the 90s and the 2000s and stuff. So yeah, there's that. And if you buy into that, you're fine. And it was funny. They had some cool gags and some cool like rescues and things that he had to do, where the solutions were kind of like goofy and stuff. Like it feels like it does it matches the tone of the Total Recall show,
That perfect.
Like there was a kinship.
Oh geez, I cannot. And I have a feeling it's going to be on HBO Max very sooner
soon,
rather than later.
Pittsburgh, Michael Keaton coming back as Batman.
I can't believe
like, how do you resist?
my
like,
God.
how is that? And that was how they were selling this movie. It was like Michael Keaton, come see Michael Keaton as Batman. And I was all excited and set to see it. But then, like, I was watching the new Shazam movie, and I was like a little underwhelmed with it. And I kind of thought, like, yeah, it's probably going to be like that, And I'm so glad I did see it because it was like really good. And
did he have the old costume on?
It was like slight updates to things here and there, but it felt like the old costume. There might have been some like subtle thing, but it was like black and the yellow. And
was there a gag about him not being able to turn his head?
No, he like that was the improvement. His head was much more maneuverable because again he's had like a whole career as Batman, so we saw like what he was doing in 1989, but he had his whole career. So like he's up to, and so the fight, like it kind of, and I don't know very much about the director. I want to find out more. I just sort of wanted to do our episode before I did too much digging. I didn't want like other people's opinions to kind of influence, but like, I'm curious because it was very, like, it was a lot of fan service, but in a good way.
Oh shit! Like, did he have was his logo the classic like really deep yellow?
Yeah.
Like, bat. Oh god.
Yeah, and he had the Batwing, and the Batwing was like it was the classic Batwing, but a little bit updated again, and it just felt like
he's got Jack Nicholson's head like on a pike, or he has it's the hood ornament on the Batwing.
It had so much like great action, like because like the big thing with like the Batman movies up until like the Christian Bale ones or whatever, it was always like, I just want a little more Batman action. I want a little more, bang pals. And like, so it's like wish fulfillment. It's like, we get that. We get, like, he doesn't show up. It takes a while for him to show up in the movie, but when he shows up, he's a solid presence.
Shit. Yeah, like when we watch Batman 89, like anytime... It's a treat when Batman does punch or kick in there.
Yeah,
it's like,
and you can see the restrictiveness of the suit, and they're trying to work. But in this, it's just like, And again, it is like, nowadays when you see like this kind of movie, it might as well be an animated movie because it's like, it's like a CGI guy or like a guy with a bunch of ping pong balls on him doing all these amazing moves, and then they superimpose Michael Keaton's digital face on it. But I still bought it.
To prep for the movie, he got a few nips and tucks. He got eyebrow raising surgery and the lip crease deepening to make him look even more like that Tiny Toon Adventure screen grab.
He's like, he looked like $1 million in it. Like,
yes,
yes,
God,
he's
so
he's older
we
and
love
stuff
you,
like
Michael.
that. He's older and stuff, but he looked like he definitely looked his best. Like on when you see him on an award show, like when you see him in real life or whatever, he looks like my father-in-law.
Yeah,
he's just some older guy from Pittsburgh. But they did, it's like enough little, and maybe a little bit of digital this and that. But he looks like an older, he doesn't look fake, but he does, he looks like, he looks good. The hair.
Oh hell yeah! Now we're talking. So you have the Hollywood choppers one.
No, he looks kind of
like a real person.
Like he reads really well and gets a lot of cool action scenes. And the this might have even been in the trailer too, but like the Batwing has like a gyroscope in it, so as it does like a roll, he's still like perfectly
that's awesome.
Vertical and stuff.
Yeah,
although his passengers aren't, which is like one of the gags in it,
And then Jack Nicholson's head is like rolling around on the dashboard.
They did, there's
what I got.
There's so much fan service, and I guess like the details are great, like because again you get to see that Batcave again, and you get it from different angles, and it's changed a little bit with the times, but it's still like that Batcave, and they do like. they do find, like when they're poking around in his bat cave, they do find the laugh box, that little bag with the.
Oh my God,
that.
Tom!
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
No,
Are you fucking kidding
that's
me?
why I'm thinking. Like when I was watching this movie, I'm like, yeah, how come I was this close to not seeing this movie? Because it's like, yeah, of course, like it's just you see the trailer and then you're like, yeah, and then by the time the movie comes out, you kind of forget how excited you were to see.
It's in Batman's junk drawer.
Yeah, it was. You're right.
What's that old thing?
Man, and you get to see there is like a Supergirl in it. But it's interesting, these movies, because at the same time, you have like these very popular long-running TV shows of The Flash, of Supergirl, and it's like just interesting to me that they're just going to do a completely, you know what I mean? Like because those shows have followings, this fan base of all that stuff, but they seem like they kind of disregard that with these movies, and you get to see Wayne Manor, and like that version of Wayne Manor, and so like they spent they knew what you were coming there for, and because it was so delayed, they had time to tinker with it. So you got like this nice, huge
Juicy
chunk of
view.
what you were there to see. And then the rest of the movie itself, weird, odd, like some of the choices, I was kind of like, I can't believe this is what this movie is. But like, I was still on board, but like, it was still like, I wanted to see where this thing goes and how it resolves. And it also handled the whole multiverse thing and time travel thing slightly different than it's been seen in other movies. Like, and that was kind of interesting. Like, they didn't have to do it that way, but it was interesting that they took like a slightly different.
If they're doing like the multiverse and like time travel kind of stuff, would have been another fan service like little nugget. What if Vicky Vale was Sean Young?
Right, I wouldn't be. Yeah, that's the sort of
awesome.
And the movie does, because
they should have cast her as
in this like alternate universe. Like, and one of the first things that tips him off that he's in an alternate universe is, Eric Stoltz as Marty McFly. And so they do a little bit of that. And like, yeah, Sean Young as
that have been cool?
That would have been nice. That would have been a nice, kind of payoff for her. I think that might have been too much of a deep cut. But I'm gonna get into a couple spoilers here.
All right.
Which so here's like your fair warning about the spoilers. So before I get into the spoilers, let me think if there's anything else I could, just to give you time to like turn off, because the spoilers. But like, it is like a continuation of the sort of Snyder cut version. So you get like Gal Gadot shows up as Wonder Woman, and you get like, it reminded me how great that like Wonder Woman stinger is, like the Wonder Woman theme song, like that, like the one they've been using in the movies and stuff. It's like when you hear that, you're like, oh yeah, there she is. And then
does Jack show up as the Joker?
Jack, no,
they pull him. They like he's on a yacht somewhere off like the Amalfi Coast, and he's got like pizza sauce on his face. They're like, Jack, we will give you points on this on the head if we can just film you from the head up. And we like he's got his hair like all like.
Well, so like the Batman we've seen in the Snyderverse, it's like that. Like it's a Snyderverse movie. But also, like, when they show him, like, early on, there's, like, a scene of, like, the Flash using his speed and, like, just zipping through a road. It was kind of cool. It was fun to see. But, like, you really do see, like, the genius of Zack Snyder, because, like, when Zack Snyder's doing the high-speed stuff, like, again, he slows it all down, but then there's this detail to it and this texture to it and this richness. Like, it made me want to see the Snyder cut of Justice League again. But, like, that is, like, just so, like, visceral and stuff. And this was like a little, it wasn't like you felt the absence of that. Again, this was like a different kind of movie. It moves really fast, but like I missed like the Flash speed didn't seem as
well done,
because well thought out.
I like the Flash. His when he does his running, those were always like some of my favorite parts of like.
Of the Snyder cut. Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Like highlights of it.
Mm-hmm. And there were a couple parts where it's like bad CGI is kind of part of it. Because like when he gets glimpses of like alternate timelines and other universes and things, it's like it seems like they deliberately use bad CGI just to kind of let you know that, like, just to make it look kind of weird, make it look kind of like Uncanny Valley and stuff. But so here's the spoilers. Here come the spoilers.
All right.
So, like, there's parts where he starts getting glimpses of other universes. So this was the spoiler that I had heard, that, like, he gets a glimpse of a universe where he sees like the 1950s Superman, like the George Reeves Superman. Like he sees this other universe that's like black and white, and he sees the George Reeves Superman, and then he sees like the Flash of that universe, who's like the Jay Garrick Flash with like the bedpan on his head, like it's like that, and he's got this leather suit. So like that was kind of cool to see. And then he gets a glimpse of like another universe, and it's like the Adam West Batman, like doing the Batusi. Again, it's a Total Recall movie.
Oh my god!
And then he gets and then he gets a glimpse of a universe where it's Christopher Reeve's Superman and Helen Slater, like the movie Supergirl.
Yeah.
Shows like they're sort of side by side, and like all these universes are getting closer to each, and like so they're kind of noticing and stuff. And then he sees a universe, and like I knew what it was from like the first moment, but like when the big reveal came, I was like, yeah, like it was great. But it's like there's this universe, and you see Superman from behind, and he's got like a mullet, and he's fighting a giant spider. And then it turns around, it's Nick Cage.
Nick Cage.
It's the Nick Cage. But again, it's like I said, when they showed the alternate universes, it's like bad CGI. But they obviously like had to pay Nick Cage to get like a bad CGI version of the Nicolas Cage Superman. We finally got the Nick. Like our like April Fool's Day video
from a few years ago.
Now like there's a universe where that's
Wait, what? Are you kidding me?
So
that's
again,
Tom,
it's the Total Recall movie. It's Total Recall the movie.
Is this going to win Best Picture? The Recallies? Tom, what the? What?
Yeah.
Nick Cage is the Nick Cage.
Yes, the Nick Cage Superman is. So like all of those things all exist. Like the Nick Cage, and they're all just waiting there. And again, this movie's a flop. Nobody saw it, and I'm sitting there with this huge grin on my face and like having the time of my life at this movie. And then like. So that he does all this stuff, it's like a Back to the Future kind of thing. He changes stuff, but he thinks he puts
when you saw that mullet.
I knew what it was. But then when like he turns around and he's fighting the spider, that's like the other thing. But then when he like turns around and it's Nick Cage.
God.
And then the genie back in the bottle. He fixes the multiverse and stuff, and then comes back, and then he's gonna meet with Bruce Wayne. The Bruce Wayne of his universe, played by Ben Affleck. And then the car pulls up, and out steps George Clooney.
No way! Are you fucking kidding me?
That's how the movie ends. It's George Clooney stepping out. That he changed the universe and made it so that like he came back to a universe where George Clooney.
How do we? Is this is like the Total Recall?
It's like we made this movie. This is like if we made.
We have the unreleased Batman and Robin episode.
We do. And I unfortunately deleted that episode. We'll have to do, but we did do like the George Clooney, our appreciation of the George Clooney Batman. I just like I was running out of space, and then I deleted, and then I regretted it immediately. But I did.
We recognize the greatness
of the George Clooney Batman. But yeah, so and it's like so delicious. Like how is not like the whole world, the whole geek world or whatever doing like backflips over this Flash movie? But they're not. It's kind of panned. The people, people, whatever. Like.
Are you telling me?
It's making your head hurt, isn't it? That's why I was like, Matt, you gotta see this movie.
Are you telling me there's Michael Keaton has reprised his role as Batman?
Yes.
Nicolas Cage
finally gets to put on the tights,
and play Superman with the mullet and fight the giant
spider. Yeah.
And we see George Clooney return as Batman.
Yeah, and now George Clooney is like the Batman of this universe. That the time stream was changed, and now
I would love to see him return as Batman.
I know. Like, and how good? Like,
again, Caesar
it's
haircut.
like it's like all the wish fulfillment, because like the wish fulfillment of like, we get to see more Michael Keaton as Batman. And make as many Michael Keaton Batman movies as you want to make. Like, I'll follow him as Batman. Like, if James Gunn wants to make the next trilogy of Batman movies be like Michael Keaton, why not?
I'm like, it's getting heart palpitations.
It's weird for me to see a Batman that's like my age or younger. So like, Yeah, make it Michael Keaton or George Clooney. You know,
I'd love to see him return.
Yeah, and give him another chance. Like how about
shows up.
a redemption story of Nicolas Cage getting to be Superman? A redemption story of George Clooney getting a chance to be in like a good Batman movie.
Wait, what? I can't wait.
It was like the best ending to a movie ever. That Bruce Wayne's car pulls up and he gets out in his shorts.
George Clooney. Tom,
what a great idea!
Kidding
yeah,
me?
I know.
And then like in the end, when they chose the Superman universes, he's getting beat up by that like guy at the diner.
Right now. like even the because like the Helen Slater as Supergirl.
Oh my
God,
I
wanna love that movie, but it just doesn't work. But like, yeah, if they start making Helen Slater Supergirl movies,
we got to do a Supergirl episode.
Yeah, and again, just seeing like Christopher Reeve up there again as
the
Superman,
big screen, Tom.
Yeah,
I think we hacked we put the Total Recall code into the
maybe I imagined the whole maybe this is a April Fool's episode because that can't be the real movie. It's too perfect. It's too perfect. It's too on model for like the Total Recall show too.
Tom, wait, I can't. I'm trying to like. It's just show.
I might have even forgotten a couple. Like there might be a couple other things in there.
He sees the greatest American hero.
It's so funny to me that like the big spoiler that I got was George Reeves as Superman shows up in it. But how did it not get spoiled for me that like Nicolas Cage shows up as
I'm rocked. I'm like, wait, Tom, I can't fucking believe this.
Mm-hmm.
What? How was the crowd? The crowd was standing ovation?
It wasn't a huge crowd, but there was an okay number of people there, and people were like into the movie. But I mean, yeah, that was.
They do like a Cannes Film Festival, like 15-minute standing ovation at the end. Like,
yeah, I mean, I was blown away. It was, it was.
I can't believe it.
I had an amazing time at the Flash movie. I loved it. I can't recommend it highly enough. Yeah, I mean that was like I texted you after I saw it, and it was because I saw it like a week ago, and I'm like, you got to see this. It's a stat. You need to go see this.
Wait, are we sure a Flash movie was in the theater? Like we didn't create
exactly. Like we manifested it. Now, like maybe it's one of those kind of things where like the projector is broken and I just like had this hallucination of
someone's on their break up in the projection booth and they have their laptop hooked up to the projector. They're watching Batman and Robin.
But that like Batgirl movie that they deleted is supposed to like connect to this. So now I'm like extra mad about that because it's like a little bit more Michael Keaton. The Michael Keaton stuff in this is so great. Like again, put together like a highlight reel of like of like Michael Keaton Batman stuff, and it's like,
what if now we're gonna manifest this too,
and it's kind of like first we get like a really cool Bruce Wayne fight scene where he's just like fighting as himself, and then we get like this globe-trotting adventure of him fighting in like different countries and different different foes, Batman doing all this stuff, and not just. And we have Batwing action and all this stuff.
That Batwing gimmick where it like turns sounds so cool.
Yeah, I saw they have like the Batwing movie like the Flash movie Batwing toy. I mean that's got to have the gyroscope
action.
Like the B-wing, was it the B?
Oh, the B-wing. Yeah, that's so cool. You rocked me in my throat. Like
yeah, it's a lot to
process here.
But again, like it's going to be one of those movies where whenever it's like available digitally, I'm just like the movie The Batman that came out. It's a go-to thing for me where I'll just like put on the whole car chase sequence.
Oh,
just
so
watch
much
the car
fun.
Chase sequence. There's scenes in this where I'm going to do the same thing where I just kind of like cue it up just to watch Michael Keaton going down a hallway.
That's so
kicking people's
awesome.
ass as Batman.
Tom, what if they're like, Michael, do you want to do a new trilogy at this age?
But unfortunately, this movie bombed. So we're not going to get that. You know what else I heard? I heard that Indiana Jones is bombing as well.
Oh, no.
That it's like, not that it's like bombing, but that the performance, it's not performing like an Indiana Jones movie should perform, and it's not performing like a $300 million budget movie. So again, maybe just cinema is toast. Like maybe just the cinematic movie experience is like, I mean, if an Indiana Jones movie and if Michael Keaton returning as Batman doesn't
get asses in seats,
then
we're fucked.
Because it does seem like, okay, Tom Cruise coming back for Top Gun, that did the trick. So yeah, let's bring back Michael Keaton as Batman. Let's bring back,
That's so saddening me with like Indy and like this, like, yeah, get out to the theater and see Michael Keaton just pick up
Batman. Yeah, I mean, if it's still there, like maybe you can go see it tomorrow.
Yeah, like
I would be up for seeing it again. You got to see it for yourself. There's my report. My book report on
great
on
reporting
the Flash.
from the field, Tom, and you weren't kidding when you said this was a Total Recall movie.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, like it's like checking off all the boxes. Jeez. If like Lou Ferrigno would have jumped in as the whole,
I think it would have. They've built Bixby's image on screen.
Yeah, they have the Total Recall Studios bugged. That's
somebody's been eavesdropping.
If Mike Katz's shirt floats down, go see the Flash before it's out of the theater.
Yeah,
it's like. It might not be there anymore. I'm Tom Scioli, author of Jack Kirby, The Epic Life of the King of Comics. I Am Stan, a graphic biography of the legendary Stan Lee. New from Image Comics coming soon. Jack Kirby's Star Warriors starring Adam Starr and the Solar Legion. There are pre-order links in the show notes below for all of those books.
I'm Matt Zeoli.
And please follow me on Twitter at Tom Scioli, on Instagram at Tom_Scioli, and support my Patreon. Go to patreon.com and search Tom Scioli.
Follow the show on Instagram at total_recall_show.
And yeah, follow, and subscribe to the Total Recall Show. Do your due diligence. Comment on the videos.
Yes, we love the comments. And
chime in with your Flash review in the comments.
And I think if you watch to the end, I think that does something.
Yeah, right. Yeah, watch it all the way to the end. Watch it a couple times. I don't know. What you guys know better than we do.
Yeah.
Do whatever you feel comfortable with.
Yeah.
But yeah.